Again, psychologically, when you're a child, they've done tests on children that prove that children don't want others to harm people. We're pack animals, and we want to help each other.
Okay, that's good, but
we're wired to help each other.
Okay, we base our morality based on what?
I just said based on empathy.
People, they think, what the people thinks, yes?
Yeah.
That's what you base.
Based on
okay,
empathy.
but in terms of natural selection, for you to know, the Nazis, they have practiced this. What they have said, based on the same thing, and based on the same concept that you said, when the people, they were young, when the children of Germany at that time, the Nazis, when they were young, one second, let me just finish, you finish. So when they were young, they were educating their children, saying to them, you are the favored one, you are the chosen nation, and the Jews, as they used to say, and the Jews, they are the one who are in the bottom of that, and then we have to kill the Jews. So when they become, and the society, they voted for Hitler to be the leader of the country, and then the Nazis to be their system. What they have done, they went to the Jews and they killed every single Jew in the country. Why? Based on this, based on the same morality that he brought. Who decides the natural? Who decides the morality?
Natural selection. Actually, they'd fail natural selection because if you keep things within the Aryan race, then people become disaffected. That's why incest produces babies that are less likely to survive. Natural selection, opposes the removal of diversity.
That's not proven, by the way. Incest that doesn't prove.
It is.
It doesn't prove. It doesn't prove, by the way. They say that it happens, but it's not necessarily all the time.
It's a higher chance of a baby not surviving.
A higher chance, but it's still
And that means that natural selection suggests that diversity is good and important, and therefore what the Nazis did was anti-natural selection.
Okay.
It was unnatural.
The natural selection says the stronger will remain, and the weak will die, will vanish. That's the natural selection. The weak will vanish, and the stronger will live. And based on this, if we came through natural selection, that means we should practice the natural selection within our society, and that's what it means.
You turn everything into like a doctrine and a belief, and it doesn't have to be that way.
No, I didn't talk about belief. Did I talk about any belief? I didn't say any belief.
I said if nature does something like natural selection, that doesn't mean we kill each other. That's not what it means.
Okay.
Natural selection is just something that
So shall we educate the lions not to eat the deers because they should eat grass?
Well, first of all, that wouldn't be natural selection because they're separate species.
Okay, so natural selection within our species, how did we exist?
I'm just saying natural selection happened. I'm not saying that we should kill each other.
No, I'm not saying. What I'm saying, I'm using, if we use the argument of natural selection, that means
it's not an argument, it's an observation.
Okay, so if it's an observation, by the way, it's an argument. It's still an argument, isn't it? But still an argument, isn't it? People who are using this argument to say natural selection, if we had to fight and kill other species to survive, that means these things it is practiced even by the lions within their herd, within their own species. When the lion male dominant an area, what they will do, they will kill all the cubs of the other lions in order for his own race to continue, and that's natural selection. So that means, but that's what's practiced.
If a lion gets ill and it dies, so is that not natural selection?
If you did what?
Natural selection
if a lion dies because it's ill, is that not natural selection? Because it got killed off because it's weak, because it caused an illness.
Natural selection isn't about someone in a species killing off.
This is your definition. That's the first time I hear this. You are defining
a
natural
selection. Can you let me finish my sentence first? So if natural selection is not about this animal kills another animal to survive, it's about this animal is born with these genes and this animal is born with these genes. These genes are more appropriate for survival. So this one survives. This one might get eaten by a predator. It might just die because the gene is faulty and it gets an illness.
Okay.
It gets sick.
So can you give me
selection.
example for an animal that exists and it vanished because of its weak genetic?
Yes. So example, there was a species of caterpillar that
What?
There was a species of caterpillar, like the bug, which had a colouring that was so bright that birds were easily able to spot it, whereas other caterpillars in that species that had duller colours were less able to be spotted by birds.
Okay, but still caterpillar is still attraction for the other ones. It doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So while she's speaking, talking here.
Yeah.
Okay, so shall I start again?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so like there's caterpillars that were born with brighter colouring, and there were caterpillars that were born with duller colouring in the same species. The ones that were brighter were able to be seen by predators, so they were eaten. That's natural selection. Then the ones that survived, the ones with duller colours, were reproduced more, and therefore they moved on. That's what natural selection is. It's not this caterpillar killed this caterpillar to survive. It's just what happened naturally.
Okay, it's still you're going to my point. It's still when you say
I'm not. You said natural selection is
I
when
didn't finish my
You said
point.
it's when the lions
Okay, finish your statement until
Okay,
I
you said when a lion kills another lion, that's natural selection. You said when a lion kills a deer, that's natural selection. That's not what it is. It would be if a deer was more injured than another deer, then a lion's more likely to catch it. Therefore, the stronger deers would move on and reproduce. It's not about like I murder you so I survive. That's not natural selection.
Okay, going back to the point again, which means you're talking about natural selection between different species. And again, we need to understand that there are animals that dies not necessarily because of their genes, they are weak or something like that. They lived and survived for certain things. And the theory that you brought, still it's a theory. They say with certain caterpillar that I'm bringing to you. Yeah, that's why I'm bringing counter-example to your theory. Yeah, so that's why we cannot say for sure. Now, so when we say a caterpillar died because of some other, species, they were killing it. So it proves the same point. A lion will kill other animals. Why they didn't vanish? That's again. So it doesn't matter. So it does not matter. So when we are talking about natural selection, you said the gene, the stronger, as they say, the stronger genes remains, and that they say when they practice this, it is within their own species, within their own race, or with other species. It could be either way. And that if that applies to us as a human being, that means within our race, if we try to practice the natural selection, that means that the stronger one has to stay and the weaker one has to die. And that means we should go to all those people who are, maybe they have disability or they have, for example, health problems. That means we should terminate their life, because according to the natural selection situation, that means we have to keep only the stronger one, and that's totally morally it's wrong.
No, that's eugenics.
Why?
That's eugenics. That's
Okay.
not natural selection.
Why?
They're different.
Why morally it's wrong? That's my argument. That's my
You can't just kill someone because they have a disability.
based on who?
Based on empathy.
Based on
we're
what you
born
think?
with.
We're born with empathy. Where we got it from?
It doesn't matter where we got it from. We
That's
don't
you
matter.
see.
Need to know.
That doesn't
Accord-
prove a creator.
Good. According to natural selection, we shouldn't have empathy.
That's not true. Actually, can I have it for a second?
Okay, yeah.
Actually, natural selection, empathy is good because we survive more as a species when we look out for each other. We get eaten less if we have a pack around us to survive.
Okay.
Also, if animals are born with no empathy, why do they care for their young? If they had no empathy, they wouldn't care for their young.
That's
They
good.
wouldn't care for their pride.
We need
Okay.
to leave and we've been here for
So-
like an hour. Can we please go? This was a really good conversation
Anyway,
and it was nice to
it is
meet
good
you.
conversation. The last thing, just wanted to respond to the last point which you mentioned. Now, it is true that the species that they have, with the empathy that they have, that they keep their own race, and that's true. And that's why we say it is in our nature that we have this empathy and mercy within our nature, and that's something which we did not made it to ourselves and put it in ourselves. Where you think where the empathy exists in ourselves, where does it exist? Why is it in our nature? Why is it in our nature? And that proves that we are created by the Creator with the empathy that we have, based on and to take care of each other. And that's why when we go back to the point which I'm talking about, if you want, I will respond to you. Do you want to respond?
I just want to answer that quickly and then I need to leave.
Okay, but I have to answer if you answer then. So my point is that is either we use.
Let me answer what you just said though, because otherwise I'm gonna.
So that's why my point is, again, from the beginning when I was saying that we can't decide the morality according to us, that it has to be an objective morality. It's not like subjective based on society. So that's my point. So it has to be an objective.
Okay.
Who decide what objective that
Can
we
I
need
give
to
you
do?
my
And
point
that's what we need to understand.
Okay.
Will you bring objective morality to the conversation?
Yeah, okay. I just want to say that the reason we have empathy is because that makes us more likely to survive if we can look out for each other. Yes, it does. We're more
Actually,
likely
yeah.
we're more likely to survive if we look out for each other. That's why we survive.
The lion prize.
Yeah, that's why people move in packs. If you live alone, you die sooner. It's better to look out for each other. Also, I need to go now, but this is really.
Anyway, the last thing to you, since you said this,
last thing,
but again, you have to respond, as you said.
Go.
But anyway, so that's why when she was saying, okay, when she was saying about it, and that's the response. The response to this is easy to say, okay, we need to take care. But actually, according to natural selection, if we say this, no, it doesn't exist there. And according to us, if we want it to exist now, people, they have the theory, the more people on earth, the more starvation we'll have. And that means we have to go against what she was talking about. That means we have to reduce the number of people, according to them, in order for us to survive. And that's totally immoral things. And that's why who decides the morality? It has to be an objective entity that decides the morality, and that comes from the existence of God, and God who made the morality for us to follow. Jazakum Allah Khair all. Subhanahu wa bihamdihi nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.
Sheikh, you see how they said they believe in natural selection, right?
Yeah. Who is this and who's who and which is which? Which one? This one? Okay.
Everyone is Abdullah. Everyone is servant of Allah.
Take your camera.
Where is Abdullah?
I don't know.
His camera.